Before I begin, I just want to say I'm sorry I haven't been posting as much. Nobody cares! Captive is an RPG Maker game developed and published by Dead Inside Studios. The creator, Igor Zanetti, has had a passion for game development ever since he was a child. With years of experience, he decided to take his creations more seriously. Thus, we have his first commercial game, Captive. While this may look like a game in the horror genre, it's more of a puzzle game, similar to an escape room experience. Just as the name implies, the goal of the game is to escape before the timer runs out. The plot isn't all that original, but it doesn't have to be. You play as a woman waking up with amnesia. It's honestly very cliche. I mean, I was coming up with this stuff back in Little Big Planet too. Fuck you, city matches! She's badly hurt and needs to escape before she bleeds to death. And that's it. Okay, I'm in some room. There's a hole in the wall. Alright, I found a note. If I don't survive and you're the next victim in the cell, there's something hidden inside the mattress. Okay, I guess I'll just take a look inside the mattress. A lockpick. Guess I'll just pick the lock then. And that's pretty much the rest of the game. We go down this hallway and find an elevator. This is where the game really opens up with 5 floors to explore, and I really do mean explore. You search every nook and cranny to find which item to use on what location. You know, typical survival horror affair. This game sort of reminds me of classic survival horror games like Silent Hill and Clock Tower. There is a huge difference between those games and this, and I'm not talking about the graphics. I'm talking about the lack of threat to the protagonist. Don't get me wrong, you can die in this game. Like here, where I let my curiosity get the better of me. Even the game looked me square in the eye and told me not to do it. What I mean is, there are no enemies. The only way you can die is by choosing the wrong text box, which shouldn't be that difficult because the game pretty much warns you about it. Oh, and if you do die, you get sent back to the beginning of the game. This makes all your previous efforts go to waste, and you'll have to redo everything every time you die. It's such a chore! Even walking is a chore. I mean, look at this. She walks so slowly. At least there's a run feature, which makes everything just a little more bearable. This makes your stamina meter deplete quickly, which you'll have to manage constantly, as you'll always want to get to your destination faster. I do like her walking animation though. You can tell there was actual passion put into this project. The environment isn't all that interesting. You'll most likely be looking at some variation of this. At least the rooms have something going on. There are some storytelling elements going on in the background, like in this hallway here, where there's an amputated arm on the ground, and later, you find the person who it was attached to. Or the medical room, where you find a brain-dead patient. It's simple storytelling elements like this that kept me interested in beating the game. Eventually, we get to this hallway. Here, you have to turn a wheel, which drains the water from the lower level. You know, where I died earlier. Not falling for that one again. Here we acquire some duct tape so we can fix the power panel, therefore lighting up this room to explore. After this environmental puzzle, we obtain tools that further open up our surroundings. Honestly, this game isn't very hard if you're paying attention. Most items you get are pretty easily obtainable, and figuring out which item to use is also pretty straightforward. Occasionally, the game literally tells you what puzzle item you need. The game increases in difficulty at a perfect pace. During the harder puzzles, you'll constantly be looking at the countdown timer, like this poem puzzle here. It's not impossible to figure out if you have all the necessary items. You really just need to be patient with it and figure out what the numbers mean.
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
Number 15. Burger King foot.
The game isn't scary at all. It's definitely atmospheric though. I absolutely love the music. You've been listening to it this whole time. There are some slight, and I really do mean slight, jump scares. It's pretty much just text popping up with no sound effects. But honestly, I'm just a huge pussy when it comes to jump scares, so I thought I'd warn you. I just wish the main character had more going on. When examining things, she'll provide a description along with a small comment to go with it. Usually the comments are monotone in nature. It's kind of a shame. I wish there was more personality in the character to get attached to her, similar to Heather from Silent Hill 3. instead of playing as an empty canvas. This game is definitely not the conventional type of fun. I personally had fun figuring out what to do and finding out the game's story. It took me roughly around 40 minutes to beat the game. For some players it may take even longer, especially if you're new to RPG Maker puzzle games. So if anything I said in this video caught your attention, I'd say the game is worth a try. This game is not for everyone. Know what you're getting into before playing, or you may end up like this guy.
Now there's a panel with numbers, and we have to guess numbers. This is where I got. This is as far as I got. I died twice, backtracked a bunch, and 30 minutes has gone by, and it took me an hour and 5 to get to this point last time.
I talked briefly with the creator of the game. He said the inspiration for Captive was something like if an Escape the Room Flash game and an RPG Maker game had a love child. He'd also like to thank all the players that enjoy and support his work. He also says he has many other projects in the works and to expect great things. I'll definitely be keeping up with future releases from this developer. Before I talk about the ending, I'd like to give you guys some tips. Tip number 1. You only need to turn the water wheel once. This works as an on and off switch, which can cause much confusion. Tip 2. The syringe adds 15 minutes to your timer, but for a real challenge, I'd refrain from using it. Tip 3. The red, green, and blue books all have numbers for a reason. Okay, so now huge spoiler warning for the ending. Please leave now if you don't want me to spoil the ending, unless you don't care. After finding the key card and inputting the code on this door, it opens. We're free. We made it. It's kind of anticlimactic actually. We just happened to walk out the front door. As we walk through the forest, we can reflect on all the crazy events we had to go through to escape what could have been a painful death. It's kind of a fitting end considering the simple nature of the game. We were the ones who were torturing people in the underground. We were playing as the bad guy. And then the game just ends. Hey everyone, thanks for watching my first review. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more reviews in the future, as I really do plan on making more.